Hello bookish friends, and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi, and today we are going to try to find a new hobby, play with some clay, and listen to some audiobooks. So as you can tell, we are in what I call my creepy craft room. I saw this video and was highly inspired by Kayla from Books and Lala. She randomly does videos where she tries a new hobby and she listens to audiobooks, and I was like, that sounds so fun, because I am such a hobby person. Like, I go through phases where I like to do like creative artsy stuff. So what we're gonna do today is use some clay to make some stuff. I don't know what we're gonna make yet, probably some like trinket trays. I actually tried to use air dry clay over the holiday season to make DIY Christmas ornaments, and let me tell you, it was an epic failure. I did not stick to it and I did not make them. Some came out okay, but I never got to the point where I needed to like file them and paint them and whatnot. So today we are going to make some little trinkets. I want to also try to make like a jar of some sort. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but we're just going to play around. Before we get into the actual clay sculpting, let's talk about the audiobook I'm listening to right now, and that is Ink Blood Sister Scribe by Amanda Turs, I think is how it's pronounced. I think that's how the narrator for the audiobook pronounced it. But this is a book about two estranged sisters that have not talked to each other in years after their mother passed away. They have this world famous, actually I don't even know if it's world famous. You know what, let me just read you the description. It says, in the spellbinding debut novel, two estranged half-sisters tasked with guarding their family's library of magical books must work together to unravel a deadly secret at the heart of their collection. A tale of familial loyalty and betrayal in the pursuit of magic and power. Basically, it's about these two sisters. They have the same dad, different moms. They grew up with like magical elements in their life, and they have all of these collections of books that have magic to them and allow people to use magic. Their whole life they are spent protecting it, more so Joanna rather than Esther. It says Esther has fled to a remote base in Antarctica to escape the fate that killed her mother, and Joanna's isolated herself in their family home in Vermont, devoting her life to the study of these cherished volumes. So they're kind of at opposite ends of the world doing different things. Joanna is very into sticking with what her father would want for her, whereas Esther is like, nope, I'm out, I don't want that life. You also read from this other character, Nicholas, who is kind of doing the same thing these two sisters are, but in a different spot of the world, and they have no idea who each other are, so I think their stories intertwined somehow. But the first like 30% of this audiobook was a lot of like describing and narrating and talking, and I was kind of like, all right, I think I'm over this. I literally was so close to being like, I think I'm done with this. And then it kind of kicked up a bit. I'm basically at 50% of the way through with this. I have listened to this much just in one day, and I obviously have another half. Between like the 35 and 50% mark, it got really interesting because something happened. This book talks a lot about like blood, and basically all these cherished works that these two sisters are protecting are all written in blood. And same with Nicholas, something crazy just happened. I'm not going to spoil anything for this book, so there's Louis. So don't worry, there's gonna be no spoilers, but something just happened where Nicholas doesn't think his uncle, who he's living with, is who he really says he is. He thinks he's being set up. Esther is also being set up and kind of going through a problem right now. They're all kind of at the point where the main plot point and issue has happened, and now we're getting to the resolving of that issue. I am going to look at TikTok, Instagram, and Pinterest and see what inspo I need to get this little hobby going, and I'll be right back. I have decided what my first little dish is gonna be. I will post a picture of it here. I found this on TikTok. As I was saying in the beginning, I'm such a creative person. Like, I love doing like artsy fartsy stuff, but I don't always, can I help you? My little helper's here. I don't always like have the inspiration. Like, I'm creative in the sense that I can pretty much replicate anything I see, but I don't have the brain where I can come up with these cool ideas on my own. That's why when I see these things on TikTok or YouTube, per se, for this instance, I'm like, hell yeah, like I want to recreate that and do that. Since I did the DIY, well, I tried to do the DIY clay ornaments for Christmas, I already had all the supplies, so I literally didn't have to buy anything for this, which made it even better. So this clay, I like this clay that I had, but it is sticky. This is the Nara air hardening clay. I got this from Hobby Lobby. It literally does stick to this package, but it's weird because once you get it out of this, it's not sticky. Like, it doesn't stick on your hands. So I have a rolling pin And I like to use like a big pizza pan to roll out my clay, so I'm not like getting it all dirty because I am in my basement. We are just going to knead this a little bit and then shape it, and we're gonna let it dry. So I'm gonna put you on a time lapse. We're gonna listen to some of my audiobook, or I'm gonna watch a YouTube video, and we're going to come back when I have this shaped.
I could never settle down too far away from my hometown. With my family I am bound. I stick by them till I'm in the ground. Resting on the myth of old, all of the stories I've been told. Secret places hidden well are gone now as far as I can tell.
Okay, here is the first phase done. I'm not like loving this. Kayla's came out so much better, but you know what? It is what it is. I had fun. This I had to put on a little plant so it would stay formed. This is just like a little dish. I covered a little container I had with clay, and then I made this. I don't know what the fuck this is. It looks pretty janky, but you know what? We had fun doing it, and that's all that matters. I actually didn't listen to any of my audiobook. I was watching Ink Master on YouTube TV, so I will be back tomorrow in 24 hours when these dry, and then we will sand and assess the situation and then paint from there. So I will see you tomorrow. Okay, hello, I am back. It is now Thursday, day 2 of this trying to find a new hobby. And honestly, this was half a failure, I guess. So this was the little thing I made that had like rows, and it literally just flattened out. So that's garbage. This was like the little dish I made, and honestly it just looks lumpy. Sorry, that's my dryer. It just like looks lumpy and ugly, so I'm also gonna throw this out. The only thing that wasn't like a total failure was this little thing, and it was like a plastic jar that I just like covered in clay. So we're gonna sand that down, and while I sand this down, I'm not gonna sand it down that much because I don't really care that much, honestly. This was a lot harder to work with than I thought, and I think it's because it's air dry clay rather than like oven baked clay. And it's just a lot harder to get like smooth and consistent. Like I don't know how Books and Lala made it hers so perfect. Oven baked clay, because I have this and I was like, you know what, I might as well. And I want to try, I got 2 things of it. I want to try to make little like tiny mushrooms that I can put on my bookshelf. I don't know if that's gonna work either, but we're gonna try. I have a feeling that the oven baked clay is gonna be easier to like work with because it hardens a lot quicker. I feel like with the air dry clay, like it had time to just droop overnight, and obviously that's not what you want. So now I'm gonna try to make little mini mushrooms. We're gonna see. If this doesn't go well, then I'm done with this video. But as I'm working on this, I want to talk about my audiobook, which was Inkblood Sisters Scribe. I finished it, and I'm gonna land at like a 3-star. I thought it was good. It was just kind of like wordy and like slow in the beginning for no reason. But I also like kind of get why they had to do it. I'm not gonna really talk so much about like the premise of this. Obviously I don't wanna like ruin everything for you. This is about 2 sisters who haven't talked to each other in a while, and it's because they kind of have a history. I almost spoiled a little something for you. So they have the same dad, they have different moms though, and the one sister always felt like her other sister was favorited over her because she had magical abilities that were like really obvious. Always felt like she was kind of the outcast. So she went off to Antarctica and lived kind of isolated and started a new life for herself, while the other sister stayed with her dad, devoted her life to protecting the secret magical library that her dad has collected over the years. and you hear from both of their perspectives. And then you hear from this other perspective of this guy named Nicholas, and he also has a magical library of books, and he lives with his uncle. Some bad shit is going on with his uncle, and he basically figures out that his uncle's not who he thought he was, obviously. And then they somehow all get intertwined, and it's kind of a good story. It was really good. It was just a little boring, if I'm being completely honest, but I also listen to the audiobooks, and sometimes when I listen to audiobooks, I'm not like fully paying attention, especially when it comes to like audiobooks that have like magical things in them, because it's just a little harder to like visualize and really focus and pay attention. My favorite thing to listen on audiobook is thrillers, because they're just easy. I finished that, gave it a 3-star. I liked it. The ending was totally worth it, and did not see the ending coming at all, which that's really all I ever ask for in a book, is I just want to be surprised. I don't want to like guess what's going on, and then when that thing happens, I'm like, oh, yep, guess that. I did really like that aspect of it. I did like the ending, but overall just kind of like a blah story. I don't know what I'm gonna listen to next. I have 2 audiobooks out. One is actually on my January TBR, as the other is not. I have Never Lie by Frida McFadden and Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. I think I'm gonna do Never Lie tomorrow, starting tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna continue reading an audiobook throughout the rest of this video, just because the Never Lie by Frida McFadden, as I said, is on my January TBR, but it's literally a 7-hour audiobook, and I have to go to Connecticut tomorrow. I could easily start and finish that tomorrow. I listen at 2 times speed, that's why I'm saying I can finish that pretty quickly. So I think I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. I might just sit and watch a YouTube video. I know this is supposed to be finding a hobby while also listening to audiobooks. All right, so I got some mushrooms made, and honestly, this clay is already so much easier to work with. I'm not even gonna show you what these look like, but this is like the vibe I'm going for. Like, that looks like a cute little mushroom. So I'm making different sizes. I'm gonna make some bigger ones, some smaller ones, and paint them a bunch of different colors. I don't know what it is right now, but mushrooms are like in. Like, that's like an in decor piece. I don't get it. I'm like kind of here for it. So I saw something on TikTok about mushrooms, or somebody was painting mushrooms. I found this new girl on Instagram. Her name is Y Street Studio, Emma Foss, on Instagram, and she does a lot of like upcycling, DIYs, and artsy stuff. And I think she was painting mushrooms or something, and that's why I was like, oh, I want to do that. Kind of where I got the inspo from. I really want to like get into like upcycling and doing my own things. Like I always say, I'm a very creative person, so doing stuff like this is fun for me. Luckily with this one, I had all the supplies I needed, so I didn't have to buy anything. But I have like so much art supplies down here, it's not even funny. I really want to get better about using it and making things. This clay though, I will say, shows a lot of my like fingerprint, which I don't really like that. This is actually a lot easier. Why didn't I start with this? I don't know, the freaking trying to make like dishes, that was not as easy as I thought it was gonna be. I don't know, I'm having fun with this, that's all that matters. The video is probably not gonna turn out the way I wanted it to, but it's a video and it's happening and it's fun, and I'm still talking about books. Because one thing I really want to focus on going into the year is doing videos that bring me joy and bring me happiness, and don't feel like forced and just like, oh, I have to just put out this video because I need to put out a video. Like, I want to like put out quality content that you guys actually like and that I actually like. Basically, the whole idea here is to just have fun, do whatever the hell I want, find a new hobby, and maybe make it into something that I do more often. I got one more little slab of clay. I don't think I'm gonna open the other one. I already like this Sculpey. Oh, I didn't even tell you what I was using. This is the Sculpey clay. Okay, it doesn't want to focus, but this is the Sculpey 3 clay, and it's just in white. They have tons of colors of Sculpey clay at Michael's, but I know I'm gonna paint these, so I was like, why am I gonna buy small things of colored clay when I'm just gonna make them my own? I think I'm gonna use like a mixture of white and brown paint for the stumps, like put a little dab of brown in just to make it look a little more realistic. Paint the tops like green. But I have some leftover paint samples that are like these really pretty greens from a DIY I did in my reading room. So I'm gonna try to use those, but I got my little clay mushies. I think you bake this for, this says 15 minutes per 1/4 inch thickness. What the fuck does that mean? I'm just gonna go put this in the oven for 15-20 minutes and then we'll be back. Okay, while that bakes for the next 20-ish minutes, I am going to paint this thing. I was thinking I want to do like paint it like a simple nude beige and then use a very light green to do like checkered print on it, but we're going to just see how it goes. I don't know how that's gonna work. Got some paint all over my hands, but we good now. So this is a paint sample I have from Bear. I don't even know what the color is. I have no clue, but it's just like a beigey light color. And I'm going to take just a simple brush. Pretty sure I just got this at Michael's. Gonna grab a little paint palette. See what color green I want to do. I want it to be like an earthy sage green. This is Folk Art Mossy Meadow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to paint this whole thing with the beige color and then do like little, like a gingham almost with the green. So I'm gonna put you on a time lapse and I'll be back.
Resting on the myth of old, all of the stories have been told. Secret places hidden well.
Okay, so I just painted this. I think it came out kind of cute, but obviously it's not like a masterpiece, but I am going to let this dry overnight and then spray it with a clear coat of poly tomorrow. And then I'm gonna go check on my little clay mushies and we'll be back. Okay, I have my little mushies out of the oven. They are hot. I'm going to let these cool overnight and let this thing dry overnight, and then we're gonna come back tomorrow. I'm gonna have an update on an audiobook because I'm gonna listen to Never Lie by Frida McFadden. And we are going to sand and paint these and finish them. And then we'll close out this vlog. So I will see you tomorrow. Okay, hello bookish friends. It is now Monday, January 15th, so it's been, I don't even know, a couple days since I've been here. I just didn't have the energy to do these little things, but I 100% think that the oven baked clay, are you kidding me? My camera battery is gonna die. Hold on. Okay, we back. The camera battery is changed. Okay. So what I was saying is oven baked clay is the way to go. Like this actually hardens, whereas the air dry clay, I feel like it was always soft. So I don't love the air dry clay. I'm gonna sand these down a little bit because I can see my fingerprints in every single one, but I think that might give it a little bit of a nice texture. We'll see. And while I'm sanding them down, let's talk about the audiobook portion of this video. So as you know, I finished the audiobook for Inkblood Sister Scrap, and then I started the audiobook for Never Lie by Frida McFadden and listened to it in one full day because obviously, as you know, I drive a lot for work. And Friday I was in Connecticut and it was like a 2.5 hour drive, and then I was driving to a couple different stores, so I was able to crush that audiobook. When I got home from work, I had like 30 minutes left and I was decorating my house for like the year-round decorations, and decided to just like finish it. And let me tell you, that audiobook was wild. That reminded me of the show You, and just very similar vibes. Like the ending was just like mind-blowing. I gave it a 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's about this couple that is going to look at a house in Westchester. It's snowing as they're driving there, and then they get there, they get snowed in. The realtor never shows up, so then they just have to kind of wait out the snowstorm at this house that they're like potentially gonna buy. And it's the house of a psychiatrist who went missing 2 years ago, and it's creepy. Like they get to this house and things start moving, and there's a glass of water, and then she finds a sleeping bag and all this stuff. You go back and forth between like the couple that's at this house like snowed in and the psychiatrist like files, because the main girl Trisha finds like the psychiatrist's tapes and recordings and whatnot and starts listening to them, and it's just crazy. It was such a good book. That was like one of my favorite Frida McFadden books. I obviously really liked The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret, and then I read The Coworker, her newest book, and like could not, I don't know, that wasn't a book for me. So I did not like that one. And then I read this one and I was like, what the hell just happened? Finished the audiobook for Blood, Ink, Sister Scribe, gave that 3 stars. Didn't really love that. And then I listened to the audiobook of Never Lie by Frida McFadden. And now I have 2 different audiobook options. One is Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead, which I think I'm gonna do that one. Or I have The Mystery Guest by Nita Prose, which is the second book to The Maid. I have that longer than I have Midnight is the Darkest Hour, so I think I'm gonna do Midnight is the Darkest Hour. So we are going to start painting my little mushies. We're going to listen to Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead, and I'll be back when I have some progress.
stick by them till I'm in the ground. Resting on the myth of old, all of the stories I've been told. Secret places hidden where I go now as far as I can tell.
Hello vlog. Hopefully this will be the last day I'm checking in for this vlog because all of my little mushies are painted. The only thing I have to do is add like the light dots on it, and then I want to paint the bottom of the mushrooms the same color as the stump. And then once the bottom that dries, hopefully in a couple hours, I can super glue these on, spray them with a little bit of clear top coat. We will be good to go. The first thing that I made, the little canister with the green and white like checkered print, that is upstairs. I put so I have a list of 24 books that I want to read in 2024, and I wrote out each title on a piece of paper, folded it up and put it in that, so each month I can pick 1 or 2 titles from that. I have that done, which once I get all these mushrooms done, I will show you that. But hopefully this will be the last day and I can paint these quick, let them dry for like an hour-ish, spray them with the poly coat, let that dry for a couple hours, and then tonight or tomorrow we can put them out and display them and close out this vlog. So speaking of this vlog, the other portion to this vlog obviously is me reading audiobooks. I did start the audiobook for Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. But I am like currently on a Ink Master kick, which if you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I'm obsessed with that show. And like there's some seasons that I haven't seen all the way through, but I know who wins the season. So I'm currently watching season 8. I mean, I know who wins this one because I've watched all the other ones, but I haven't like watched this season all the way through. So instead of listening to an audiobook today, we're gonna watch some Ink Master. Hopefully I can get this all done today, and then we'll be done. I didn't even tell you what today was. Today's Tuesday, January 16th, I think. Hopefully this will be the final day and then I can start editing it because I really need this video to go up on this Thursday. So let's stop talking and let's finish these little mushies.
I've come to realize time goes by on its own. I am stuck here without a home.
The current situation of the little mushies. They look so cute. I did spray these with the clear top coat, so that way when I come back down I can literally just glue the tops onto the little weenies and then we'll be done. I did try to like spackle these with brown, but didn't really work the way I wanted it to, so we're just gonna ignore that. And once I'm gonna give these a couple hours to dry, and then once they're dry I'm gonna come down, glue the tops to them, and then we'll put them away. We are here to close out this vlog. Literally all I need to do now is hot glue these together. I was originally gonna use Gorilla Glue to put them on top, but I think hot glue is gonna do the trick. So while I do that, let's just address that I have no reading updates. I listened to a little bit of the audiobook for Midnight is the Darkest Hour. It's giving me like Where the Crawdad Sings vibes, and I didn't really love that book, so I don't know if I'm gonna love this book. And honestly, I then got distracted by like new YouTube videos. Decided to watch YouTube videos today while I was driving instead of listen to an audiobook. And then I did reserve the audiobook for A Court of Silver Flames because I want to finish that series so then I can start the Crescent City series and read the new book that's coming out this month. So that's probably what I'm going to read next, but you won't hear my reading progress in this vlog because this is the end of this vlog. To recap, I listened to the entirety of Inkblood Sister Scribe, gave that a 3 star, thought it was just okay. It's kind of like magical realism surrounding a magical library. That was just alright, it wasn't anything special. Then I listened to the entirety of Never Lie by Frida McFadden. That was 4.5 stars. That was so good. Such a good thriller, so fast paced, so quick to read. And then I did briefly start Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead, and we'll definitely continue to listen to that slowly but surely, and I will probably alternate between that and A Court of Silver Flames. That is the update on the audiobooks, so I'm going to sit here, get these mushies put together. We're gonna go put them sporadically throughout my bookshelves, and I will be back to officially close out this vlog.
I could never settle down too far away from my hometown. With my family I am bound.
Alright, I am here to close out this trying a new hobby vlog. I just put out all my little mushies and I absolutely freaking love them. I definitely kind of want to make more stuff for my bookshelves because I think it looks really cute. I might try to make some other sort of little figurine. I don't know what yet, but I'm definitely going to continue to use the oven baked clay because that definitely worked better than the air dry clay. But that was a lot of fun. I also showed you the little jar I made with the green and white stripes. That's just going to be my 24 books in 2024 prompt jar. I'm going to choose 2 prompts from that each month. That didn't come out as good as I was hoping, but it's fine. So I think my next hobby is going to be making this little miniature book nook. I got this from Hobby Lobby and I think it's so cute. It's like a little DIY kit. I don't know where I'm going to put it yet, but I want to make it. So that's probably going to be my next hobby video. And it's probably not going to be up for a while because I think that's going to take me forever to do. If you have any hobbies that you do and you think I would enjoy, please leave them in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!